Sporty Shorty. How you
Hey,
doing today?
I'm all right. What's going on?
What's going on? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Yep.
All right, so looking forward to week two
Week
of.
two, around the world of
I love it.
sports.
I love it.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to just hop right into it.
Uh huh.
Aaron Judge.
Uh huh.
Props to Aaron Judge and the Yankees. Yankees having a really good season.
Nice.
Aaron Judge is having an even better season.
Uh huh.
He had 60 home runs, almost had 61 last night, but the ball didn't quite make it out of the park.
Ooh. Okay, so.
But he had 60. He tied Babe Ruth at 60. He's on his way to getting 61 and beyond. He has Roger Maris to meet at 61 for the tie, for that record, for the AL home run record. So big props to Aaron Rodgers and everything he's doing. I hope he gets the record sooner than later. This is a shout out to my Uncle Fred, aka Rook. Shout out to you, big Yankee fan, and this is for him.
All right, we'll keep an eye on Aaron Judge and
Aaron Judge.
hopefully by next week.
Yeah, hopefully he'll have the record. But big props to him, and big props to Uncle Fred.
All right now.
All right, so just wanted to get that out. Want to get into some boxing. We went to go see Canelo and Triple G last week. Bit of a dud fight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the highlight for me for sure was that Triple G didn't get hurt. So that.
Yeah,
that's all
I was just
for.
happy Triple G didn't get hurt. That's right. It wasn't a close fight.
At all.
Some of the judges had it kind of close, which surprised me. But it wasn't a close fight at all. It wasn't like the first two fights that were very close. Triple G looked every bit of 40 years old in the ring. You know, and Canelo still looked like he's in his prime at 32. Triple G is clearly past his prime. The only round he really won to me convincingly was the ninth round for Triple G.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, it was the ninth round. The other rounds after that were competitive. I'm not so sure he won them. But that first half of the fight, Canelo, he dominated. Triple G looked very slow. And I was just, like I said, we're just happy he didn't get hurt. But Triple G should not fight anybody on that caliber, that Canelo caliber level fighter. Should not do it. If he wants to continue to fight, I think he should retire. But if he's not going to retire, he doesn't need to fight A-list fighters. He needs to fight B and C level fighters. That's all I have on that fight because it just wasn't. It wasn't a good fight.
No.
I mean, it was good for Canelo, but it wasn't a good fight. Like, it wasn't that competitive.
Yeah, it kind of was like it looked like a spa.
Yeah, it was like more like a sparring
Canelo.
session for Canelo. And it's like Triple G is that dude. Well, he was that dude, but it looks like his career is winding down, to be honest.
Yeah, just let it go.
But yeah, sometimes, man,
You did
he
well.
did, he
You had a
did
good
great throughout his
career.
career. At one point, he was feared. Nobody wanted to fight that guy. Like Triple G was like a machine back in the day. You know, he had a great career. Sometimes you just gotta let it go.
Yeah.
You know, and he has nothing to be ashamed of
At all.
at all. Period. So next, Shakur Stevenson is fighting tonight.
Okay, all
He's
right.
fighting tonight on ESPN. He's fighting a man named Robson Conceição. I don't know him that well. I hope I'm saying his name. I hope I'm not butchering that man's name. He's a Brazilian fighter. They're fighting at 130. The kind of drama is that Shakur did not make weight.
What?
He didn't make weight. Shakur always makes weight.
Oh, what is going on? That's not like him.
He
What's
came
going on?
in at 131.6 pounds.
I mean, but still, he's a professional.
What his camp and what he's saying is that he's 25 years old now, and he's getting bigger as a person,
Yeah,
as a
he
man.
might have to move up.
He said he's gonna have to move up. He said he's not fighting at 130 anymore. He said he did everything he could to make weight, and I believe him.
Yeah.
I believe him because he always makes weight. He's a professional. I think he stays ready.
He does. He does.
So I'm like, for Shakur Stevenson not to make weight, he's not a lazy fighter.
Yeah,
I believe he just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I believe he physically couldn't do it. You know, and he tried. The weight wasn't coming off. He had 2 hours to lose the 1.6 pounds, and I think 0.4 I think came off in a hot tub. He just couldn't lose the weight, and he said he's not going to jeopardize his health to try to get to 130.
Right.
So that being said, he lost his 2 belts. His 2 belts are now vacant at 130. So this Robson Conceição dude, he could be fighting for those belts tonight. He might get those vacant belts. But again, Shakur couldn't make the weight. He has to leave those belts down. He got to get those belts back. So it sucks that he's not coming to the ring with his belts.
Right.
But he's going to have to go up to 135.
Yeah.
And he said that, which I'm not upset about, because you got Devin Haney at 135, who's a really good fighter.
Should be a nice
You
fight.
got Vasily Lomachenko there.
Ooh, nice fight as well.
Tank Davis fights at 135. So Tank, I'm on the fence with Tank because Tank got some legal problems and stuff going on right now, and I don't want to get into that, but we don't know where Tank's head is at really.
Right.
So I don't know if I want to see Shakur fight Tank.
But we have some other good.
But there's other.
contenders at that weight.
Devin Haney is good. Lomachenko. I don't know if Teofimo Lopez is going to still fight at 135. I think he may be moving up to 140. I'm not sure.
Right.
But if Teofimo's there, I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yeah, that'd be a good fight too.
Yeah, so to be seen, to be determined. But tonight's fight should be good. I like to see Shakur Stevenson fight. I like his defensive strategy in the ring. To me, he's an exciting fighter, so I always look forward to his fights.
And what time do you know?
10 p.m.
10 p.m. on ESPN.
10 p.m. on ESPN.
Okay.
So if y'all guys are into Shakur Stevenson or you never seen him fight, check him out.
Yeah, if you never seen him fight,
You never seen him fight, and you're a boxing
check him
fan,
out.
definitely check Shakur Stevenson out.
Yeah.
He's a top 10 fighter in boxing right now. I am a top 10. But check that guy out, man. He's a good fighter. Always exciting to me. Well, most of the time he had a couple of duds in there. But most of the time he's a good fighter. Most of the time he's electric, but if you like defense, he doesn't get hit much.
Right.
Yeah, he's a very slick boxer. So yeah, check out Shakur Stevenson if you haven't had the chance. Next, I want to get into Ime Udoka. He's the head coach of the Boston Celtics. This is a very touchy topic.
Yikes.
Yeah. My sister-in-law wanted me to talk about this. I was going to talk about it anyway, but she wants me to talk about this. So, yeah, I'm going to go there. He got suspended for the season, the whole season. Apparently, he was having an intimate, consensual relationship with a female Boston Celtics staffer. One of their employees. Do I recommend this? No, I do not recommend it. Do you recommend
I don't
recommend.
Like what?
No, I don't recommend. No, the bottom line is I don't recommend having a relationship with somebody at the job. Does it happen? Yes, it happens all the time.
Yes, it does. But you do not recommend.
I don't recommend it, but it was consensual.
Right.
Do I think he should be suspended for a whole year? No, I do not.
Yeah, but
I don't.
But the reason why he's being suspended is
because it's against their code of conduct. It's against the Boston Celtics.
Is it not in his contract?
I'm pretty sure that's not in his contract. They didn't mention that it was in his contract. I don't think it's in his contract. I think that it's against their rules. Because this is not an NBA issue. This is a Boston Celtics issue.
No, it might be, right. It could be an organizational.
Yeah, it's an organizational policy that they have.
Right.
Which is fine. It's against the policy. Do I think he's wrong? Yes, I think he's wrong. At the same time, I don't think it warrants a suspension for the whole year.
Feel like it's excessive.
I feel like that's excessive. I think he should have been fined and maybe suspended for a short period in the beginning of the season.
But then again, it goes back to what the if the policy clearly spells that out.
But I don't know.
We don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if it spells out you get suspended for a whole season. I don't know if it spells that out. I'm pretty sure it's punishable. I don't really think that that's something that should be punishable for a whole season. That's just my personal opinion. You know,
Even though you don't recommend.
I don't recommend you doing it.
That's
I don't
funny.
recommend you doing it, but I don't think you should be suspended for a whole season for that. I just don't.
It's a lot.
I think that's a lot, and it's like you're not saying that he's definitely coming back. You're saying you have to wait and see. So he may end up getting fired off of this.
That's crazy.
Right. I think there's more to it that's not coming out. But if like they say, if it was consensual, no one else is being punished in this situation. You know, and I think the real story here is Nia Long. That's his fiance. I think he should be punished for that. You know, I think she's going to be doing some punishing.
Right.
You know,
She's the only one.
I feel bad for Nia Long and their kids. That's what I feel bad for. I think it's an organizational issue for the simple fact that they don't want that type of relationship. But I'd be hard pressed. It'd be hard pressed to say that this doesn't happen constantly in the NBA and other sports, or in the world in general.
Exactly.
I think this happens a lot.
All the time.
And I don't think you should be suspended for a whole year for that. You know, if they're saying it's consensual, clearly the female's not being punished. I'm not advocating for her to be punished.
But if it's
an organizational policy, how come he's the only person getting punished for this? You know, I find a lot of discrepancies in this whole story. But again, so what? You're putting him on the shelf for a year, and you think you're going to bring him back after a season? I don't see how that works out. You know, I'm pretty sure the relationship at this point is frayed. I don't see how you bring him back after a whole season, especially when you have this assistant coach, Joe Mazzulla, coming in to run the team for the next season. Like, the players, clearly, they love Ime Udoka. They got all the way to the finals with him last season, lost to Golden State. So he's clearly a really good young coach. I'm pretty sure other teams are going to be interested in him. So I don't even know how there's a real path for him to come back to the Boston Celtics. You know, I'm pretty sure other teams will be interested. So it's going to be interesting to see how this whole situation plays out. But that's really all I have on it because I just don't have enough information.
Well, I have a question.
Sure.
Again, since you're giving out recommendations, maybe you have a personal opinion on, do you think it's plausible, in your opinion, not that obviously is, not stated out there, but just in your opinion, do you think it's plausible that this could possibly be a pathway for the assistant to step up?
Yeah. I mean,
just like it's specific to creating a pathway for him to step up.
It could be. I mean, it could have been turmoil within the organization where they want this guy to be the next guy. Because they're not saying definitely, Ime Udoka will be back next year. There's no definite. They haven't even made a decision on that. So maybe they just like this other guy. You know, maybe there's a reason. Maybe they're doing this suspension because they don't want to outright fire him. But maybe that's what they want. You know, maybe they just didn't have the heart to just come out and fire him completely. You know, maybe this 1 year suspension is, oh yeah, we're going to get him out of here.
And maybe he'll go away.
And maybe he'll just sign with someone else.
Maybe they hope that he just goes away.
Yeah, maybe they're hoping that happens. Maybe they just didn't want, because clearly, not clearly, but it's been reported that him and Brad Stevens, who's the general manager, have a good relationship, him and Ime Udoka. So maybe that was part of it. Maybe they didn't just want to come out and fire him. You know, but I say it's either you fine him or you fire him. I don't understand this 1 year suspension thing. I've never seen that happen before. Not for a whole season, not for something like that.
Right.
You know, I just feel like the crime, for lack of a better term, doesn't really fit the punishment. You know, I think he should be punished for it, but a whole year, I mean, you're not just hurting him, you're hurting the team.
Right.
based on their performance last year, you're hurting the team. And it seems like the team really loves this guy. So I mean, it's a lot of opinions that can be floated around about this. I'm just stating mine, but I can definitely understand other opinions. Do you have anything else to add to this one? Or?
No, not me. But
if
anybody out there has any opinions,
if anybody else has any opinions,
drop them down in the comments.
hit me up about that. But again, I feel sorry for Nia Long and their children. To me, that's who should be hurting the most in all of this. So I keep them in mind. But other than that, that's all I have on that. Moving on to Robert Sarver, the Suns and Mercury owner. Phoenix Suns and Phoenix Mercury.
In NBA and WNBA.
In the NBA, WNBA, yes. He plans on selling the team. He's in the process of selling the team, which I'm pleased about, which I think is the right move. He made a statement. Nowhere in that statement did I hear an apology to the employees that he affected.
Because he's not sorry.
Because, again, right,
in
what you said,
opinion.
I don't believe he's sincere. I believe that he's just mad that he got caught. I don't believe he's really apologetic. It didn't really come through in his statement. And like I said, he's sour because he's being pressured to sell the team. And he's actually in the process of selling the team. I just hope that they sell it to somebody who's responsible, someone who's ethical, and someone who embraces what the NBA generally embraces, which is being progressive and preaching equality. So I'm hoping that the teams actually get sold to someone who's very responsible. That's all I have on that. I don't have much more to say. Also, I got to give a shout out to Draymond Green, who actually was on his podcast and spoke out about Robert Sarver and said that the owners should be responsible and step up and vote him out. It didn't happen. He chose to sell on his own. But, yeah, I like the fact that he put some pressure on the owners to, step up and try to get him out.
And maybe behind closed doors, the other owners maybe they did put some pressure on him.
Yeah, maybe they
made public.
And it's been reported that some of the owners did want him out. I don't know how that would have went down in a vote because you need 3/4. But it was reported that, in fairness to some of the owners, it was reported that some of them did want him out. So I'll leave it there.
Okay.
ESPN recently dropped their top 100 NBA players. Two things I found interesting is LeBron and KD were not in the top 5.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. That puzzles me. LeBron was number 6 and KD was number 8. I don't think that there's 5 players in the NBA that are better than LeBron.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't think there's 7 players in the NBA that are better than KD. I don't think so. I think they're both top 5 players. Where you put them, that's debatable. But I think they're both top 5 players. I just find it very odd that they weren't in the top 5.
Any speculation on why that would be?
Team records, probably. Injuries. But I don't think you should fault a player for injury. That's not, you can't prevent that. Injury is injury.
And it's particularly in LeBron's case, that would be more recent, right?
Yeah, like he normally he's an Iron Man and he's an Iron Man in the league. He doesn't get hurt. But, he's an older player now.
Right.
So you're going to get, your little nagging injuries and stuff like that. It happens. I don't think that should be held against him.
That's pretty crazy.
KD, yeah, he played for a team that Kyrie wasn't really there for. James Harden left. There was a lot of reasons why his team didn't do as good as, they were projected to do.
Yeah, he was struggling to kind of pull that team
He was trying to keep them together and, the other heavy hitters on the team, so to speak, weren't present,
And And for that alone, he deserves props.
Right, like
regardless
that,
of how you might feel about him as a
person. You can feel however you feel about his character.
He did his job exceptionally well.
He played his butt off, and he should get credit for that. You know, and the thing is, it's the 100 best top NBA players. That shouldn't have nothing to do with your team's record.
Right.
It should have nothing to do with injury. It should have to do with your talent and what you did on the court individually. It's not really a team record. It's a list of top players. You can't tell me LeBron and KD are not top 5 players. I don't believe that one bit. They're aging players, but they're still pretty much at the top of their game. So I thought that was odd. I just wanted to mention that. My last topic. I wasn't gonna go there, but I'm gonna go there anyway.
Oh boy.
This has to do with the misappropriation of welfare funds in Mississippi.
Oh Lord.
The only reason I'm mentioning this is because Brett Favre, former NFL quarterback, Hall of Fame quarterback, is being mentioned in this case. This individual named John Davis, who was the director of the welfare agency in Mississippi, apparently reallocated welfare funds to a soccer facility that Brett Favre's daughter plays at. I think it was about $4 million allocated for this particular facility. Mind you, Brett Favre is a multimillionaire. He also secured about $3.2 million for a drug company that Brett Favre invests in. Again, why are you taking money away from potential welfare recipients who actually need the money? Mississippi is the poorest state in the U.S. Mississippi is also one of the stingiest states in the U.S. when it comes to approving money for families that need welfare. Here you have this man, Brett Favre, who has made millions and millions of dollars in the NFL and apparently was in cahoots with this scheme. I mean, it's pure fraud. It really upsets me. I wasn't going to talk about this, but I decided to put it out there anyway because it's dead wrong. And I hope that everybody involved is held accountable for this. You know, because it's just wrong. You know, and I hope all that money finds a way to get back to where it belongs.
Exactly. Like, come on.
Yeah.
That's just, you know,
Yeah.
I have no words.
I don't have any words other than that. I just wanted to put it out there so that it gets some type of recognition. And people are aware. And hopefully, people will put pressure. Because I don't want this story to just go away. You know, so let me know what you guys think about that. Sorry I'm leaving it on a sad note, but I wanted to include that story. Anything left for you to say? Or?
Well, we'll bring it back on a high note. Go Shakur.
Go Shakur Stevenson tonight.
To this bout tonight, and hopefully he's not even. There's no chance of him getting those belts back.
Nah, because he's moving up. They're gone. He's going to try to get his belts at 135.
He'll just get some new
belts. He'll get some new belts. I'm pretty sure he'll do that.
Right.
He's leaving 130 behind.
Yeah.
He made it pretty clear. In the interview that I watched, he made it pretty clear that he's moving up to 135. He said his body just physically can't get to 130 anymore.
Yeah.
And he's 25. His body's starting to probably spread out a little bit. He's probably his frame is probably expanding a little bit.
Right.
And he probably just can't make 135.
Right.
Sometimes you reach an age and you just can't bounce back to a weight that you could reach before.
Please. I know all about that.
Everybody knows about that. You reach a certain age, everybody knows about that. Myself included.
All right, well, It was good talking with you today.
Yes.
And I'm glad that you've made this a series. We look forward to next week's series. And in the meantime, we welcome anybody's comments and opinions down below. And if you're enjoying not only this particular series, but Sporty Shorty in general, please be sure to like and subscribe and share these videos with other people in your community.
True indeed.
All right. Good weekend to all.
Good weekend. Peace, y'all.